Hey guys, welcome to the CO visit. Colin here, and today I'm accompanied by my trusty soda. And you might be wondering why not coffee? Well, it's about 2 in the afternoon here on Monday, and it's 35 degrees Celsius. It's over 95. It's very sunny, very hot. So I didn't feel like coffee. I wanted some soda, something cold. Well, thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for watching this premiere of this video. And if you saw in the community post and the thumbnail of this video, the reason why I wanted to make a video about this, I got the idea while I was at an anniversary celebration on Saturday. The owners of the school that I work at, it's a private school. They are from Minnesota originally. They've been married for 50 years now. It was a beautiful celebration. The decoration of the gymnasium was just phenomenal, completely phenomenal. Really nice, very emotional, very nice celebration there. And so there was a part where we did a toast. And of course, when I was taking the picture, the idea popped into my head. Now, I just want to make a disclaimer, okay? I did that just for the picture, okay? I don't drink anymore, so I did not drink any alcohol at all. I just wanted to make a picture of it, and it made a great thumbnail for this video. So as you know, getting into the topic, as Jehovah's Witnesses, one thing that definitely you will never see at any type of celebration, something that is, vehemently prohibited completely, is the act of toasting. Why? Well, it's one more of those little nitpicking things that Jehovah's Witnesses don't do because of its links to pagan customs. And again, it just, it all comes back to those little things where they cherry pick certain things that you can't do this, and yet there's other things that come from pagan rituals that everybody does. Nobody questions it, and it's okay. And it's like, why? Why did they pick that hill to die on when it comes to toasting? I mean, if you're toasting like we did on Saturday, did anybody in that room do it with the thought of some ancient gods? No, we were toasting to the people, giving them honor. Which in that case, even as Jehovah's Witnesses, because Jehovah's Witnesses also celebrate anniversaries, you're honoring people. Aren't you taking away glory from Jehovah, worship from Jehovah? Should you be honoring men? Now, you can argue about that and you can justify it any way you want to. Well, it was Jehovah that instituted marriage and all of that. Yes, he did. But what customs did he institute with marriage? None. He put the two people together. The two will become one flesh, and that's it. No more hoopla, no more celebrations, anything like that. So anything from that point on is pure human customs and traditions. But since we're on the rant of pagan rituals, what other things related to weddings and other things are also pagan, but we all do? Even you Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, first of all, let's look at things that are related to weddings. First of all, number one, bouquet of flowers. Do you know what the bouquet of flowers represents? In weddings, this comes from pagan rituals. It symbolizes fertility, beauty, and the natural world. So, bouquet of flowers, Jehovah's Witnesses, out, prohibited. Number two, candles. You have candles at a wedding or any other celebration? Well, candles are to create a sacred atmosphere and to represent light and guidance. Ooh, sounds kind of mystic, sounds mysterious. Guidance and light should be from Jehovah, right? So, by default, candles out the window. Number three, here's a huge one. Everybody does, witnesses included, exchanging of rings. Why do we exchange rings at a wedding? Why do married people wear rings? Well, this is a custom that exists in many wedding rituals. For example, in Wicca, which is tied to witchcraft, Celtic wedding rituals, Viking wedding rituals, Greek and Roman wedding rituals. And listen to this. In Egypt, Greece, and Rome, for millennia, it was an external symbol of love, commitment, and fidelity. And not only that, Jehovah's Witnesses, ask yourself this. Why do we wear our rings on our left hand and on this finger, the ring finger? Why? Where did that come from? Well, from the same place. Okay, in the Egyptian, Greece, and Roman cultures, it was believed that there's a connection through a vein to your heart. So that's what you're connected to. Again, it's all superstition, right? So rings, wedding rings, throw that out. And hey, that should be good. Save you some money, right? Number 4, here's a really good one. Ever think about this, Jehovah's Witnesses? Matching bridesmaid dresses. Not only that, the groomsmen and the bridesmaids all dress the same. You ever ask yourself why? Well, that's also an ancient custom, pagan custom, to confuse evil spirits, making it harder for them to target the bride. Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one because, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses are so obsessed with demons and manifestations and all that kind of stuff. So no more bridesmaid dresses. Maybe they can all wear pants. So here's some other ones. Things not related to weddings or anniversaries, any of that. There's many other pagan rituals that we do every single day that nobody talks about. How about this? Knocking on wood. What does that symbolize? When you say something and you go, oh, knock on wood, witnesses say it too, everybody says it. Well, that's an old Celtic tradition of currying favor of wood spirits and fairies. Hey, why not cover all the bases? You can get all the help you can get. You need all the help you can get if you're a witness. How about this, guys? Days of the week. Days of the week, months of the year. They're all pagan. They're all pagan. They're all names of gods. And did you know, Jehovah's Witnesses, fact that maybe a lot of you don't know, I never knew this while I was a witness. Did you know that Russell actually tried to make his own calendar for Jehovah's Witnesses with different names and different months and all of that? But in the end, they canned it because it was just so impractical. Because I wish they would have done it, though. That would have truly certified and sealed the Jehovah's Witnesses as a cult, because that would have been really off the rails. But it was just like, the only place we can possibly use this would be between us, among us, and in our congregations, because it's not practical with any other calendar altar that we use. So they just never ended up doing it. But there's actually videos out there. You can look on YouTube, look at the Russell calendar, and you'll find that. There's videos on it. I don't want to get into it because it's just so convoluted. I mean, crazy, crazy. Okay, how about this one? Covering your mouth to yawn. You ever wonder why people cover their mouth when they yawn? Well, that's an old Roman belief. Doctors in Rome were noticing that, according to the information that I found, there was high infant mortality rates, and they noticed that babies can't cover their mouth when they yawn. And so they equated that to your life essence escapes from you when you're yawning, and so people would cover their mouths when they yawn. And then that just kind of was a custom, and people started doing it. Okay, kind of like the same European belief, the ancient, medieval times of saying bless you when someone sneezes, right? Because the spirit was coming out of you. Now, and nowadays, is that a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. And you know what? None of these things are equated with that nowadays. So kind of like Russell decided, well, you know what? This just isn't practical doing it this way. That should apply to everything. All of these things that we're talking about now, all the customs about weddings and all that stuff, who cares, right? Are you dishonoring God by doing any of these things? No, because if you're not doing it with the sight of, for example, honoring these pagan gods and things like that, then no one's getting hurt from it. Nobody. Who cares, right? Here's another one. Let's keep our fingers crossed, guys. Cross your fingers. Everybody said that, witnesses included. Where does that come from? Well, it's from gathering luck. Okay? About Nike shoes. How many of you Jehovah's Witnesses have Nike shoes? Do you know where that name comes from for that business, for the shoes? Nike. Nike is the Greek goddess of victory. She would be worshipped after winning a battle, and they make sacrifices to her and all of that. Nike, fitting, isn't it? Being victorious because they're shoes for sports, right? Winning competitions, winning sports. They're supposed to help you. That's a Greek goddess. So Jehovah's Witnesses, no more Nike shoes. Got to get rid of those. I mean, hey guys, here's the thing. Here's the thing with this kind of stuff. If you're going to cherry pick and you're going to say that because of our belief in God and our worship to Jehovah, we cannot take part in anything that has pagan roots, then you need to do exhaustive research, and you cannot do any of these things. Any of these things. Jehovah's Witnesses. That means if you're going to have a wedding, no bouquet of flowers, no white dress for the bride, or the veil covering her face, no exchanging of rings, no candles, no bridesmaids dresses and anything like that. No knocking on wood. We can't follow the days of the weeks or the months of the year because those are all pagan. No covering your mouth when you yawn. No crossing your fingers. No wearing Nike shoes. Just the same thing with churches, and this is not exclusive to only the Witnesses, but churches that want to follow the law of Moses, and they want to, teach certain things and obligate you to follow certain things like the 10 Commandments or following the Sabbath or doing this or doing that. And it's like, well, here's the thing, guys. You either do it all or you do nothing. What's it going to be? Because if you're going to follow the old law, the Mosaic law, you have to do all of it. All the 700 infractions of laws that it had. Animal sacrifices, making people, kicking women out of the camp during their period, all that stuff. Tithing, planting a tree and you can't use its fruit for the first 5 years, all that kind of stuff. You have to do all of it because in the past, following the law meant you had to fulfill everything. And if you're going to follow the law, you're following Judaism, you need to go to Jerusalem to worship 3 times a year in the temple. So you can't pick and choose. So you see how in modern times, a lot of this is just hogwash? It's ridiculous because none of these things have those meanings anymore. Okay? Nobody is worshiping false gods. Nobody's making sacrifices to Nike. Just live your life with practicality and just stop all the bullshit. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you for supporting the channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And be blessed. I'll see you in the next one.